Hey guys, welcome back. The one question which I always get from people is whenever I take any session or in my comment section as well, that what should be my study plan? Can you please help us with a structured study plan? And guys, in my last video also I've spoken about how important it is to put efforts in the right direction to learn a language, which will help you to learn the language or become fluent and confident very quickly and easily. That is very important, guys. And to learn a language easily, quickly, and fast, you have to have a proper, structured, robust study plan. You should know which areas you should focus on, right? If you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, whichever level you are, you have to know which areas you need to focus on more. So today I'm going to talk about a structured study plan which will help you to become more confident and fluent in speaking or learning English in lesser time. But the only thing is you have to follow that plan. That is very important. And the second most important thing is you have to analyze which level you are, where you need to focus more on, which areas you need more improvement, right? There are people who are, everybody is different, right? Everybody is different. I am different. You are different. Everybody is different, right? So everybody's learning capabilities is also different and understanding capabilities are also different, right? If somebody is listening to a piece of information, maybe I'll be able to grab it quickly and maybe some other person will take some time to understand that piece of information. So our capabilities are different. So we should not judge that. We have to understand ourselves. I'll share a standard plan with you. You have to analyze which areas you need to focus on, what is your capability, and you have to dedicate the time accordingly, right? So that is also very important. Understanding ourselves is also very important. Analyzing ourselves is also very important, that what I am capable of, right? Probably I might need 5 minutes to understand a topic. Somebody else needs 20 minutes to understand a topic. So there is a difference, right? So you have to know your capabilities before following any study plan. Okay. And of course, you have to know your focus areas, which area you lag behind and which areas you are pretty much okay with. If you're good in certain areas, you don't need to focus on that. You need to focus on the areas which you are not very good at. So accordingly, you have to adjust your plan. You have to customize your study routine. Okay, so these two things you have to keep in mind before working on a plan. I will give you a standard plan. You can customize according to your capabilities, according to your focus areas, right? So on that note, welcome back to my channel. I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Only if you follow my advice well. So guys, if you want to know the study plan, quickly subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, and do watch my complete video and write your comments in the comment section about how you feel about my topics. So guys, coming to the first important thing is, the first thing I would suggest is if you want to learn a language, if you want to be fluent and confident, is listening. Enhance your listening skills first. Start listening to different kind of information, different varieties of things in English. Expose yourself to English. See guys, we know English. We are not unknown to this language. At any point of time, we have read English, right? We know ABCD. Whether you are a Bengali medium or Marathi medium or Kannada or any language, Hindi medium, we have this one language, English, right? Paper, as far as I know. So we know how to read and write English. It's just that we don't know how to write perfect English or speak proper English. It's just that. But we know, right? We can read English. We know English. It's not an unknown language for us. So that is an advantage for us. So guys, the first thing is we have to expose ourselves to listening in English. But don't expose yourself to British or American English. Don't go there. Catch hold of native speakers. Start listening to people who are on YouTube who are Indians with Indian accent. Right? So that you understand the words. You understand the words, you understand the idea, you understand the sentences. That is very important. You understand the pronunciation. That is very important, guys. Accent comes later. So get hold of those YouTube videos wherein native speakers speak in English or Indian speakers with Indian accent speak in English. Listen to podcasts, a lot of Indian podcasts there in English, cooking show in English, travel vlogs in English. There are lots and lots, guys. I have given examples also of some vlogs in my previous videos as well. Go check that out. So start listening to podcasts, TED Talks, news, travel vlogs, cooking shows, anything and everything. Everything is available on YouTube, guys. Go check out. But listen to native speakers first. Start listening to them. And when you're listening to any piece of information, pay attention to it. You have to be 100% present in listening that piece of information. Whatever. So that is why I always tell you, whatever your interest, if you have a hobby, any hobby, you can just listen to that thing in English. I love traveling. I love cooking shows. I listen to those shows in English or I watch those shows in English. So there are lots of things available on YouTube. Whatever your interest is, pick up those. Start listening to it carefully. Pay attention. If you're taking 10 minutes out for listening, pay attention for 10 minutes. Focus on pronunciation. Focus on the idea, what they're saying, right? The sentences, what they're using. The body language. So pay attention to all these things. It will be easier for you to grasp the language easily, to understand the language easily, to understand the ideas easily, so that tomorrow it will help you to translate it in your own words. So listening is very important. The second most important thing is practice. Practice speaking in English. Now, what will you practice? How will you practice? So 10 minutes if you're giving to listening, another 10 minutes give to speaking. Okay. Now, the easiest way is, what I would suggest is, whatever piece of information you have listened to for 10 minutes, start speaking that in your own words. Start speaking about it in your own words for another 10 minutes, whatever you have listened to. That is the best way, guys. Whatever news, whatever commentary, whatever story, whatever podcast, whatever TED Talk, whatever cooking show, whatever travel vlogs, whatever you have heard for 10 minutes, just start speaking about it. Not for 10 minutes, speak for 5 minutes, speak for 7 minutes, give 2 takes, 3 takes, right? And do record it, either your voice or a video of yours. That is very important. Why it is important? Because once you're done with your practice, you can just sit back and watch that video or listen to that voice, and you can know what mistake you have done. You will get to know what mistake you have done, where you were stuck, where you were not able to speak, where you forgot words, where you stammered. You will get to know every single thing, and that is the best way to correct your mistakes. In this way, you'll be able to correct your mistakes. You'll bounce back. So this is the easiest way. Second way of practicing speaking in English is, whatever you are doing, whatever your plans are, whatever you're doing in a day, start describing that. If you have some plans for the day, take out 10 minutes and discuss that plan in front of the mirror, right? Or in front of your camera. Whatever you're comfortable with, just start discussing about your plan. Or if you're back from somewhere, start discussing about your experience. What did you do there? Why did you go there? Conversation you had, right? Start speaking about in English. Or if not that, whatever you're doing at home, if you're eating, if you're watching TV, if you're speaking to your mom, if you're speaking to your dad, or anybody for that matter. If you got a phone call from your friend, you spoke to your friend, start talking about those things. You don't have to search for a topic. Start talking about those things, what conversation you had, what you have eaten, what you have seen in your television, what you have watched on the YouTube. Lots of things you can do, guys. You can practice these things. These are very easy and basic ways to practice English speaking. It will not take your time. It will not take any effort. And if you video record it, if you voice record it, you will be able to understand what mistakes you are making and you can correct it the other day. Right? And that ways you will see you will be able to keep a track of your improvements also, whether you are improving or not. Right? It takes time. This is a journey. There's no shortcut. Like overnight, you will not be fluent in English and confident in English. It takes time. It's a journey. You have to work on every single thing to become fluent. So that is why speaking is very important. So listening and speaking goes hand in hand. Whatever you listen to, start speaking about it. That is the only mantra which I'll give you. That is the best way to become fluent and confident. Whatever you listen to, speak about it. Whatever you listen to, speak about it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else, guys. Trust me on this. This is the easiest and shortest path to become fluent and confident in English. Apart from these two things, writing also plays an important role. I would suggest writing plays an important role. It works for me. During my childhood, what I used to do whenever I had to memorize anything, I used to write that. I never used to rectify it. I never used to memorize it by reading. I used to write and memorize it. So what you can do is whatever topic you get, if you're not very comfortable in speaking initially, what you can do is whatever you have heard, whatever you listen to, whatever topic you want to talk about in English, write 10 lines about it, 10, 15 lines about it, 5 lines, 7 lines, 10 lines, 15 lines. There's no limit, guys. Whatever you want to jot down, if you want to jot down some ideas which will help you to speak English better, jot down the ideas. If sentences will help you, write sentences. Start writing. Like during schools, you used to write essays, right? Think of it that you are writing an essay about anything, whatever you heard in the podcast or whatever you heard, you spoke about with your mom or your plans, whatever you want to, just start writing it down. Once you write it down, revise it and then start speaking on it. This will be easier for you to, this will help you to speak in English better. Trust me on this. Try it once, guys. I'm sure this is really going to be a golden rule for you. This is going to be a game changer for you. It has worked for me and it will work for you as well. So start noting down things. Come up with a script and then revise it. Read it 2-3 times and then start speaking on the topic. This is really going to help you guys. Start doing this. The other importance of writing is you will be able to correct your sentences also. Right? You will be able to correct your sentences. You will be able to make better sentences. You can revise your sentences as well. If you feel that, oh, this sentence is not working for me or this is something, there's something wrong with this sentence, then you can come up with another sentence, right? So this way you can correct your English as well. The fourth important thing is reading. This is also very important, guys. Today we don't have time for reading. I understand completely. So that is why people say that listening and speaking is something which will help you to become fluent and confident in English. I agree with that as well. But I feel writing and reading are ignored nowadays. And reading is also very important, guys. By reading out loud, you will be able to exercise your lip movement, your mouth movement, your muscle movement, and lots of things you need to practice, right? The words in English are spoken differently. The words in Hindi or your mother tongue are spoken differently, right? So your muscle need to move. There is a muscle movement for every word, right? So if you start reading out loud, it will help you to exercise your muscles to get used to with those words and its pronunciation. Right? It will help you to pronounce words better. And get into the habit of speaking that word. You might have heard people, closing their mouth and speaking in English. So my words are not very clear. You will not be able to recognize what I'm saying. So that is where reading out loud helps. When you read a book, any news article, anything for that matter, it will help you to exercise your muscles and it will help you to become familiar with speaking the language, the words, and the pronunciation. The second thing is, while reading, you can come across a lot of vocabulary, a lot of new words, which you can collect and you can start using it in your own sentences. So there are lots of when you read a newspaper, you read a book, you will get across a lot of new words. This is how you can build up your vocabulary as well. So my next point is building vocabulary. Right? So you can build up your vocabulary as well by reading. Once you get new words or vocabulary, what you do is start using that in your sentences. Start using that in your own sentences. Start getting to know what they mean. Take an effort to open the dictionary in your mobile and get to know the meaning of that word and start using it in your own sentences. Write 2-3 sentences about it with that word. So in this way, you'll build your vocabulary as well, which is also very important to include in your study plan, right? If you will not have words or new words, if you will not be able to describe a thing, then you will not be able to speak English, right? And words or vocabulary make sentences, right? How will you make sentence when you don't know words? You don't know how to describe a thing in English. So you have to focus on vocabulary also. So reading is the best exercise to learn new vocabularies. And using that vocabulary in your own words is something which will help you to memorize it or use it or getting used to that word by using it in your own sentences. So guys, these are the things which you have to pay attention to whenever you come up with a study plan. You have to dedicate time for all these 5 activities. First is listening, which is for 10 minutes. Practicing, another 10 minutes. Writing, maybe 5 minutes you can take. Reading, 10 minutes I would suggest. Vocabulary, another 5 minutes. Right? So you have to dedicate 30 to 40 minutes of yours. You can allocate time accordingly. But it has to be consistent. Every day you have to do these activities. So you have to come up with a 30 to 40 minutes plan to become fluent and confident in English. And you have to practice it every single day. If you do this, guys, definitely you are going to be fluent and confident in no time. And if you're not able to dedicate 30 or 40 minutes of yours, then you can just cut down the time. So you can just customize it according to your time. But I guess 30 or 40 minutes is not a big time which I'm asking for. That will really help you in building your future. And the other thing is, guys, these are very basic things. I'm not talking about anything which you have to specifically dedicate to. Listening, you can just make it a habit of yours, right? When you're traveling, when you're sitting idle, when you're eating, when you are dressing up, you can just start practicing speaking, right? Whatever you're doing, you can start practicing speaking. So that is taken care of. Whatever activity you are doing, you can start speaking to yourself in English at that time. Listening also, when you're traveling, when you have an idle time, when you're having lunch, breakfast, dinner, anything, you can just put on your headphone and you can just listen to any piece of information, or before going to bed or after waking up, whichever time is suitable for you. You can just listen to any piece of information for 10 minutes. So these 2 things are taken care of. Reading is something you can do anytime, right? And writing is something which you have to take time out, right? Which is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, of course, you can take time out for writing. So accordingly, you have to come up with your schedule, guys. It's just what I mean. You have to habit stack. You have to stack your routine with your habits so that you don't have to take out time to do all these things. Or if you shouldn't feel a burden of taking out 30-40 minutes every day to learn English or speak or to practice English. So guys, I'm sure this is really going to help you. Start doing it from today, right now, and you'll see the difference. See you. Bye-bye.